Hello, everybody. All right, let me get that pinned comment put in here. All right, this is actual level requests, not CC levels. No CC levels, please. I will be sending those later. Yeah, send me any and all requests here that aren't contest levels. You can also send other people's levels. If you saw a cool level out there in the wild Geometry Dash plains, you can send one in. I figured as I haven't been active for like 2 weeks now doing level sends, I figured I'd at least get something to send to gigs. At least I get something sent to gigs this week. So that's kind of our goal. We're just going to play through some, see how many cool levels I can send. Yeah, you could also send stuff for feedback. I am giving feedback too, so you want some feedback, feel free to send in your level. Alright, while we wait, I'll beat some local stuff.
Trying to drown it, but it burns me under the neon lights. Every time that hits the pavement feels like a second chance. I'm learning how to love the storm.
Oh, this is a glazed pixel level. Pretty cool. It is a pretty cool level. Pretty fast too. It's like less than a minute technically. Cool stuff. Still no daily though. That's interesting. Alright, let's give Jarvis's level a quick playthrough, I guess. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. This gameplay's a little weird. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of shocked this got epic. If I do that. Pretty simple level. It's a cool style. I'm kind of shocked it got epic. It's pretty simple. All right, did we have some requests? We got 6. That's good enough for me to start. All right. Remember, I only usually play 1 per creator, so only send it once, please. All right. This first level is by Zoob. Ah, yes, Factory Function. I've not had a chance to play through this one yet, but... Zoob told me to travel through different eras/themes of GD/levels inspired by Funny Games, Zorbros, Majako, RobTop, and Tuner98. For those who don't know, those are some pretty strong goats of the 1.5, 1.6 era. So this should be very cool. My best level dedicated to Nitro 2, Majako, Skullhat, McChicken, GD Cyber, Tuner 98, Bismuth, Wezakune, Minus, Zobros, Funny Game. Use color 18 for 1 and 2, 1.5 forever. Alright, what is color 18? I wish RobTop would put numbers on these things. A blue. No, that's 16. 17. 102. Okay, what about that? Oh, 18. Found it. I should know what 18 is. I'm using that for GJJ7. That's the color that's going to be for GJJ7. Alright, got a factory. Nice fake out. Ooh, wow, yeah, this looks pretty good. I'm liking the gameplay so far, too. Interesting 1.7 part. Okay, now this part's cool. This is really well done. Once again, Zoob, this is with a lot of your levels. You kind of just throw these pillars in the background with no huge rhyme or reason. I would maybe consider trying some new background designs. Because these pillars kind of don't fit the rest of the level, you know? And they're pretty repetitive. Nice little wave part there. Yeah, although this is pretty cool. I like a lot of these blocks that you decided to do. But once again, I feel like you could have done a little bit more with the backgrounds, you know? Ooh. Yeah, this part's a little awkward. Because here's what makes it awkward. Starting from this point, depending on how you hit these orbs, it'll affect the rest of the part. So if I hit them really late, I'm able to make it every time. If I hit them really early, I can't make it. So that is something to keep in mind, because that's pretty unfair to the player, where the way that they hit something 3% earlier affects how they play the rest of the level. That's something that I wish like more test players would keep in mind. Because I hit it pretty on center and I still died. It's not clear to the player that you have to hit these lates. So I would check that out. Maybe fix that part if you can. Make it a little bit more consistent, you know? Because it's a very common issue I've seen in older styled levels. Where the difficulty of one part comes from how you clicked in a specific part way back when. Yeah, this right here as well. This block is a little too high. If you don't jump in the right way, it'll just kill you. Yeah, I know you can hold, but does the player who's playing it know you can hold? That's the question. Because if they jump too late, they just crash. Even lowering that by 1 pixel increment should make it a little easier. Or, you know, you could also write hold. Writing hold could be pretty cool. Just some stuff to keep in mind. Alright, got that Winnow style showing up a little bit. Now this is the Majako part. This is back on mountain. I love back on mountain. That's really cool. Really well done. I like how you're using the background to help tint the gray player color objects. That's a nice effect. Very subtle one, but very nice. Another reference to Winnow Fantasy. Cool. We got more of like a classic, like, Royal Sky, I guess, type style there.
Ultimate destruction.
Yeah, very cool. That level is awesome. That is certainly one that I want to keep in mind. Nicely done. Zoop, just fix those 2 spots that I mentioned gameplay-wise, and I think you got a pretty solid level. Yeah, so if you fix those 2 spots, that would be amazing. Otherwise, yeah, just maybe work on some backgrounds. That's all I have really to comment on. Yeah, fantastic work on that. All right, go over here. We delete the response. Now, no matter how many you get, I'm going to play these first 5 in order. If I have a lot after that, I'll switch to random. But I need to switch to random in a little bit here. All right, The Purple Adventure by Paniro. All right, I'm seeing quite a few comments. So I assume it's probably good. All right, well, let me read up about it. I just wanted to try making a modern level. Hey, that's fantastic. All right, let's take a look. I'm just taking it in. All right. First thing I'll note is these the 3D lines on the background blocks. They kind of look a little strange. If you're gonna have these 3D lines, you should add the outer white line to the front panel. You know, add an outer white line to the front panel. That way it stays consistent. Either that or remove those 3D lines. And yeah, the background itself looks a little weird. You might have better luck adding a gradient back there as well, like a giant gradient. That might help also add some more like depth to it, you know? Because we want a background with depth. Right now, the depth's kind of just in these giant squares that are kind of giving some pixelation. So I would, if you know what parallax is, that could also look really cool here. Maybe just having a couple pillars moving behind our blocks. That could be a great parallax in this spot. So far, your blocks are pretty decent. I like that. That's a really simple but cool block design. And let me real fast switch back to Scully-Amp colors. I'll try this again. Yeah, I see that it's pulsing a little bit. That's cool. We could do a little bit more of these blocks, I think. Even just having like a small like triangle mosaic could add a lot here, like a very low opacity mosaic. Just to add something to break up the unisolid color, you know? Oh, apparently I switched it to white mode. You know, I'm not sure how you... I'm assuming what happens is in practice mode when you die, it breaks a loop that's playing the colors. It is a little annoying when someone's trying to play your level. Like, if you send this to other mods, they're going to play it in practice mode. And when they break it, that might not sit quite right with them. So maybe talk around, see if you can figure out a way to get that to not break, you know? That's what I'm assuming happens. But maybe you wanted that on purpose. I don't know. Gameplay is pretty fun. Ah, dang it, I got white mode again. No. Yeah, so I definitely work on the backgrounds. Oh, that's a short song, unless it was a cutoff. How long is this? See if I can do it in one attempt here. Because the block designs, I think, are actually pretty good for modern. Except these. I think those need a little bit more work. Oh, dang it. Let's check the time here. Ooh, 35 seconds. Okay, here is a Scully Hop revelation about what is rate worthy. I know we've been seeing some short levels get rated, but those are the exception right now, not the norm. Most moderators, and I think RobTup himself, prefer levels to be 45 seconds or longer. So, preferably a minute. A long length is what's preferable, but 45-second medium is kind of what's been like socially accepted. 35 seconds is a little bit on the short side. So if you're really wanting to get this rated, I would suggest maybe giving it an extension as well as working out a different background. Now let's see what we did here for the color changing. I'm just curious. So these are on color 3, color 3. We've got this. It's on group 3. Where is the... Oh. This might be a technique I don't know about. What is going on here? Is this one of those no trigger color changing things? It loops to itself, making a rainbow color. Oh, so that's what's going on. Oh, and then in practice mode, it breaks it. Interesting. Always breaks in practice mode. I'm wondering if there's a way we can detect a death. Like, what you can do. Yeah, there is something we can do about it. I'm sure if we took... There's an on death trigger. We took that. We just get a new group ID here. It's going to be 4. Do that. And we also set this to 4. I think that will fix it. No, it does not fix it. A spawn multi-trigger should do it. Get it behind the other trigger. No, that doesn't do it. Okay. Yeah, that is a conundrum. Yeah, it might be an event trigger. I'm not sure how to do event trigger stuff all that well, but there's probably a way to do that. Maybe experiment around and see if you can figure that out. Because my concern is if you send this to mods, they're going to see that and be like, that's not okay. But yeah, you got some great starts of Modern there, my friend. There's some good starting there. I would maybe, I'd highly recommend trying some background stuff out. So, try out some backgrounds, see if you can get something that kind of looks like it matches in with the rest. All right, I apologize for taking so long. I just wanted to see if I could figure that out. I cannot. All right. I saw someone ask how many requests we have. We currently have 11. All right, Boy Backstreet. Made for the Real Skelly Guys Block Gauntlet CC. Ooh, interesting. Layout level for my friend's contest. So it's a layout. All right, let's take a look. So it's a layout with some added stuff. Oh, you see that? Right there, that's a blind orb tap. So we want to try to avoid those if we can. Especially since this is on the easier side. Yeah. Today in social convention, blind orbs are not considered entirely a good idea. So that was some good camera control work there. Oh. Didn't realize that would flip me. I don't know if you can maybe put some green on the wall. That could help. Ooh, this voltage trigger part looks cool. Yeah, that's pretty fun. Only suggestion I have would be was to change that blind orb. Other than that, it's a fun, very fun layout. I enjoyed it. Thank you for sharing. I don't have much else to say other than that blind tap, so. All right. We have 13 levels in the form. A level from Mr. Evil Scully Hop himself. Level made with I stole parts from. Oh boy. Can't giggity goo. I wanted to look at the description here. The level is full of jokes between me and my friends. The whole point of the level is that it would be dual cube only, but eventually evolved into a joke. Verified by your friend. Nobody else wanted to play this. Oh boy. This sure is something. Hi there. This sure is something. Hi there, Eric. What is that supposed to be? Oh, for God's sake. No, that is not 1.0. Oh my goodness. I can only play a little bit more of this because this is... What am I doing here? That's... Alright, there we go. My goodness. Now we're gonna take a look at this in the editor. Too hard for me. Because I believe I can play this in the editor with ignore damage. This is pretty cool. Ridiculous. But cool. I see a trophy in there. I mean, I have seen worse cube-only levels, so... Actually pretty interesting. Very interesting. You did send in a video too, so... You know, I think that potentially might be rate-worthy, actually. Oddly enough, it's really weird. Deco, of course, is stranger than normal, but I think it's through that strangeness that it's decently well executed. Although I'm not entirely sure how well the gameplay is going to play for someone who's actually playing it legitimately, you know? So, I will keep this in mind. Well, thank you for sharing it. Sorry I can't beat it that much. Oh, the Verifier's here. Awesome. Gameplay is cool, wacky, but enjoyable. Yeah, that was my takeaway as well from my no-clip run. But no, it's a really neat project. I like it. All right, next up. DoorDash by The Whole Bakery. Not just a part of the bakery, the whole bakery. A feeling to turn up sound effects and turn on screen with practice mode off. I saw those effects and sound effects and decided to make my own. Alright, there's comments, there's likes. I think this is a safe level. Alright, order DoorDash buddy, maybe buggy, turn on screen shake, and make sound effects a little high. I think I got, yeah. Okay. Oh boy. I think I know what this level is. This is just queso. This is just queso dash.
Geometry dash.
I need to see a level that like uses this lens on the swing copter or the ball. That'd be such a cool, like imagine an eye-themed level and you're using a swing copter or ball with this filter over it. Very funny level.
Geometry dash.
Oh, so it could be cool if someone actually took the time to make there be cracks whenever you land. That'd be so much work. Very cool. I like silly little levels like that. All right, we got 17 levels. Espresso by Howdy. 6 months combined total over 249 hours to present you espresso. I've heard of this level before. Made by Howdy, a level I enjoyed. So it's pretty looking, very fun gameplay, cool colors and visuals, and it's a level I hope can get rated even if a Nong is used. It uses Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. Probably it won't for the reason of the song, but a replacement is already used for the level, so yeah. Okay. I don't like that comment. Hard to Insane Demon. Well, I'll give it a try. Espresso, but my friend sang everything and I made the entire beat myself, so it's completely original. Gonna be honest, I think I've heard this song before and I wasn't a fan. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this song. Oh yeah, this might be too hard for me. No way, it's a ball copter. What? What? Oh, I bet that's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, the gameplay doesn't feel great. Then again, I have a massive skill issue, so... We're gonna play this in the editor. I cannot make any sense of what they want me to do in that gameplay. This is not a hard to insane deep. This is an extreme. What the hell? Yeah, this is definitely an extreme. What the heck? Yeah, wow, this is way too hard for me to play. I cannot see how this is anything but an extreme. I'm sorry, this is definitely an extreme demon. I'm gonna take a look at the video, but this is way too hard. Yeah, the gameplay syncs well. It's just definitely an extreme. Looks like it's probably fun for someone of the skill. The visuals also match the vibe perfectly. Yeah, it's a fantastic level. It's just nowhere near Insane Demon. I know a lot of you are saying, oh, it syncs to the music. Yeah, it syncs really well to the music. You know what else syncs really well to the music? The At 2 Marvel series, which is an Extreme Demon series. Like, just because it syncs well doesn't mean it's not an extreme. That is very much an extreme. But I think it's also very much rate-worthy. I'm kind of surprised it's not rated yet. Yeah, it's a year old already? Wow. Now, let me mark this down. I'm sure to want to share this. Also, yeah, as you mentioned, the Nong might prevent some people from sending it, especially because this Nong is kind of violating the rules. But I would give it a try to getting someone to see it. Just out of curiosity, has any mods commented on it yet? Not really. Okay. Well, double-minded. But yeah, definitely an extreme that I cannot play. But yeah, really cool stuff. All right, 19 requests now. I named 24 layouts. I will be sure to give you some feedback on this. Liking the energy you're using? I'm not a huge fan of this camera movement personally, but it definitely matches the energy you're going for. I mean, this is just dizzying. Thanks, spider orbs. Yeah, okay, here's a problem, User Ghost. The cameras are doing so much pulsing that you can't like accurately time your jumps, especially in the robot mode. Like, this is really hard to do anything, so like, timing this is really hard to the camera controls, at least for me. No idea if that's just a skill issue. So I would recommend maybe toning down those camera controls a little bit. Especially since this is a layout, we don't necessarily need them, you know? Other than that one camera control spot, this is pretty fun. Yeah, it's fine when it's like a cube, but as soon as it's something that you actually gotta like hold on the input, like a wave ship or a robot, it becomes really hard to time. Okay. Yeah, pretty fun overall. The camera controls in that one spot, like a little bit before 50%, those I think you should be removed, or at least toned down, because it was really rough playing or trying to find the right robot timing when you couldn't see what you're doing on the screen. Otherwise, I thought it was pretty fun. There is a couple spots, maybe nerf the spikes. It's a little tight. Could lead to some unbalancing problems, especially when you start adding on deco. So maybe widen some of those gaps a little bit. Otherwise, yeah, it's pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff. Nothing that was like unreadable except for that one pulsing camera spot, so. All right, we got 22 responses. If we get like 25, it might start going random. All right, Soda Sakul, Dark Utopia. Chill 1.0, intro to a bunch of gravity stuff. Okay, so this is a chill 1.0 level. Awesome. Is this 1.0 or is this 1.3? And so is this a 1.0 level or 1.3 level? 1.3. Okay, so the person in the comments was just not making sense because this is for sure 1.3 stuff. Those diamonds are 1.3. Those spikes are 1.3. Because if he said it was a 1.0 level, I would have some problems. There's a lot of 1.3 stuff in this. You know, actually, I should have read the description here. 1.3 level introducing gravity mechanics. Okay, yeah, I'm stupid. I didn't read. Scully Blunder. Yeah, the gameplay is really fun. Deco is simple, but I like it. I do think connecting these platforms somewhere could be cool. Like maybe just having like grid, the passable grid blocks, kind of holding them up. Right now they're just kind of floating in space, and you don't really have anything. Yeah, it's a nice, chill, simple 1.3 level. Something, I don't know how much you're interested in this, Sodasicle, but there is a way to get the rocket physics back to what it was in 1.3. If you go through like if you check off the legacy settings. So. Yeah, if you don't care, that's fine. It's just, I noticed that the rocket was a little heavy. I like this section a lot. It's like you're exploring a cave. It's it's colossal, and you can feel how colossal it is. I like that. Once again, I think having the platforms connect somewhere would be cool, but not necessarily needed. Yeah, really cool level. I had fun playing that. I do think it's a little bit too simple for a rate if you're going for that. But I think if you're just having fun making levels, that is a fantastic level. So, yeah, wonderful playthrough. Yeah, sometimes the most fun levels are the ones that aren't rate worthy. Unfortunately. Yeah. Well, awesome. Glad to see you building for fun. I could tell it was made for fun. It was very fun to play. This is rated, and I'm not going to play it. Heart attack for wave carried players. Indeed. It is a rated level. That's Extreme Demon. I'm going to skip on it for the stream. I'm looking for levels that are unrated right now. But thanks for sharing. I made this in 3 hours. Oh boy. I always had the thought of making a level in 1 hour because I have a song that I wrote in 7 minutes. And so if I had a level made in 1 hour and a song made in 7 minutes, I'd make it the fastest solo level ever. You know, that would be cool. You know, Yuji, the level that I played by you today that I gave you feedback on has this exact same background. You really like this background, don't you? Anyway, these blocks are really cool. The easing is awesome. I assume this is an area move. Yeah, this is pretty cool, made in 3 hours. Oh, you put a block above it? Oh, fair. Yeah, gameplay is also pretty fun. I really like that ball gameplay. That's a blast. There we go. I made this in 3 hours. For 3 hours, that is pretty good. That's a pretty good level for 3 hours. Now, I will say, well, once again, I'm not sure if that is rate-worthy, but really, really fun level for made in 3 hours. Here's an idea that you can use. I know you love this background. So, idea is have some of these pillars facing the other way, like they're pointing to the left. Would that create a cool effect? I'm not sure. Maybe you can experiment with that, Yuji. See if putting a couple of them facing left will make them look any cooler, you know? Because this is a cool effect. I've just seen it a lot. But yeah, really nicely done. I need to do a speed build at some point. I'm just too slow. You know how long each GJJ level takes me? Ugh. I'm still nowhere close to done with number 7. The Cube Orange 77 has sent us a level. Rate please preview. Now I hope you change the name. unless you're going for the joke. If you're going for the bit, that's fine. Ah, you're going for the bit. Okay, I remember what I just said. That was a cool first part. Now, really cool background. What I'm concerned about is it feels really empty still, you know? I would maybe add some structures or something, and maybe have some of the spikes kind of move a little bit, like a spike jam into the beat, you know? Just bumping up in and out. That could look really cool. These saws rotating as well as bumping around. Kind of bump it to the beat, and then having maybe some like background pillar type stuff. Kind of sticking out. Really adding a lot of depth to this, you know? I want to take a look at that character. Yeah. What could be really cool is instead of just popping for a brief moment, what if you have her dance around a little bit, you know? I have many a level where I just have figures dancing in the background, and it works. It really helps fill up the space, really helps keep your eyes on something so it's not empty. So maybe have her like dance a little bit. Maybe you can like rotate her a little like around, back and forth. I think that could look cool. I do like this block design. It's pretty simple. You want to probably add a couple structures in the sky too. Really help solidify, or I guess make use of your space, you know? Making use of how you use your space is important. Aha, hot dog boss fight. Oh, that's a fun bit. Similarly, I think if they had the hot dog bouncing, it could also help make things look cool. Now that's a cool design I have not really seen. Right, please. Okay, this part's cool. Although, I think it breaks in practice mode. I'm calling this the swing wave. Oh. It's a little hard to control. Yeah, there's some stuff in the background. This part's cool. I would maybe have some stuff coming out of the spikes, you know? Some like mid-ground details, you know? Some pillars. Let's see here. Like mounds of ice cream, maybe? Mounds of ice cream could be cool. You could have some spikes that kind of look like upside-down cones. Just kind of to add more to the the depth of the level. Now this is well done. As cool as this is, it's a little confusing. Or just spam in the middle? Maybe. I think there should be some pulsing here. At the moment, it kind of feels a little plain when you just have nothing going on, you know? So add some pulsing to the music. Deco does matter. People who say deco doesn't matter don't quite understand the awesomeness that GD is. Gameplay is important. Yes, without the gameplay, you can't play the level. But decoration's also important as well. This part's awesome. Although there's might be a secret way you want to patch. I understand this is a preview, though. That gameplay's a little weird. But... Ooh, ball. This part's cool. Once again, I think having some more pulsing could look really cool, especially in the block designs. You can even have it just like each block like flips color in each pulse. That could look really cool. Now, anything better than Deco gameplay and sync is intention. Love that. Yeah, you got some really cool ideas going on there. I think there's just some refinement needed. I would add some more pulsing in the spots that don't have it. That could look really awesome. Add a little bit more decoration in some of the emptier spots. And that could be just as simple as, like, you know, some static pillars sticking out of the ground. But yeah, this is looking epic. So some of those parts are mind-boggling. You have a good start there. I hope you get a creator point too. Fenty, isn't this your entry to my contest? Hold on, let me double check my spreadsheet. Fenty, this is... Oh, it's a different level? 1362... You entered this in my contest, though. I'm playing this later, alright? I'm gonna play this later. My 1.0 Purist CC. I'll play this one later, okay? I'm not gonna play it in this stream, I'll play it later. Yeah, I'll play it this, like, Friday. Alright, we're at 26 responses. We're going to switch over to random. Just because I want to make sure everyone gets a chance. Response 24. Lynn Kazik. Ambivalence. Yeah, this looks safe. Okay. A platformer. Ooh, come to whip out my non-existent plot skills. I'm kidding. I beaten not Sunspike. I have platformer skills. Oh, that was a mistake. Oh, restart. What does this do? I don't know. Okay, restart. Yeah, sorry, I'm just taking a look at the menu here. Alright, let's take a look. Alright, this gives off some really cool vibes. Okay, now what I will say so far, sound effects and platformers work perfectly. Even having like a very subtle jumping sound effect or landing sound effect adds a lot of like integration or a lot of atmosphere for the player. It makes the player more invested in it, you know. Right now, with just having music that's playing even when they die, it's kind of just it's gonna get boring unless something new happens, you know. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Try that again. No. Oh, I meant to push Z, not X. Try that again. All right, we got robot time. Can I reach that? No. Oh, that's crazy. Am I really supposed to do that? Oh my goodness. Songs looping sounds good. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. I do like how that wraps around on itself. That's pretty cool. I didn't save a checkpoint, really? Oh man. Can't seem to get the timing right. There we go. Okay, here's what I'm noticing. There has been no changes in design or atmosphere or backgrounds. Gameplay has changed up, that's cool. But right now, it's kind of just been the exact same thing, which for a platformer like this is usually frowned upon because it becomes really boring. Oh, what am I doing here? Oh, do I have to rap? Oh, that's tight. I'm also noticing there's there's checkpoints after each game mode. Okay. Well, yeah, this is really cool designs. But there's not anything else going on. There's no changes happening. And in a platform like this, change is pretty good. Like, you want to keep the player engaged, especially for levels this long. And right now, this is not keeping me engaged. Oh, really? Like, gameplay is definitely interesting. I just think there needs to be, like, a visual change of some kind. And there hasn't been one for a while now. What am I doing here? What? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm going to stop it right here. I want to move on to some other levels. It's definitely a solid start. I think it's also really close to rate-worthy. I just want to see some change, you know? Because at the moment, right now, it's the same thing. And it's just made linearly. I feel like we could add a little bit more stuff to this, you know? It's fine as it is, but I think if you want to make it rate-worthy, you got to add some kind of change, you know? That is not an easy medium demon either. That's definitely a hard demon. Zakito. Oh, wait, sorry, I was doing random. We'll do this level and then we'll do more random. Sorry. Freeform spin action. Remake a freeform spinner by GM Bucks Brian. Credits to him and the character at the end. Okay, let's take a look. Real fast, I wanted to take a look here. Saw the level and remade it and thought I could do better. Okay.
Something so sweet, yet it drowns in shadow. Yet it drowns in shadow. Yet it drowns in shadow.
This spot feels a bit awkward to play.
Feeling so weak. Don't believe
Definitely has an interesting style. Alright, that's more like it. That's awesome. Hang on. Yeah, I was worried there might have been an inverted slope. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, this gameplay's pretty awesome. That's a quick rocket turnaround, though. I don't know if that's just a skill issue or if that's something that's like... Ugh, this is my least favorite type of ship gameplay. There we go. Yeah, other than me being a skill issue, this is definitely a demon. But, yeah. Pretty cool. I do kind of want to see the original level. We're looking for a freeform spin. I'm curious how much of that you actually added yourself. It might be easier just to search for this. Freeform spinner. Let's take a look.
Something so sweet. Yet it
Yeah, I can see what the improvements you made. You stayed pretty faithful to the original.
don't believe their words again.
I mean, as long as the original uploader's fine with you remaking their stuff, I think that's okay. Whoa, that's a hard UFO part. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, it's a little imbalanced. Always thought that this color combination is pretty pretty. Reminds me of like cotton candy. Hey, that's a really cool end screen. Yeah, I can definitely see the improvements you made in that on that one. Yeah, it looks like the creator's okay with it, so. Yeah, the upgrade looks pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. I do think that's rate-worthy. There were a couple gameplay things that felt a little bit unfair. That yellow orb into the rocket felt a little weird. So, otherwise, yeah. I guess maybe some other, like, modern structure things, but I think that's rate-worthy. Very cool. Very cool level. Okay, 27 in the form. Let's do a random here. 4. Skyfly R1 has sent me a level. Orcus McGoober. 1.9 modern style and cheerful demon map inspired by several of my favorite modern creators. Okay. Set on the form. 1.9 modern style, easy medium demon. Okay. Well, we got some comments. Looks like it's safe. Let's us take a look. Yeah, no problem. Zixitro, you did a great job. Yep. This is pretty cool. Yay, ball copter. Well, the 9 modern levels are always so cool. Not a huge fan of that orb. I know it said hold, but it was too fast for me to read. Until it was too late. This is so cool. Borkus Magoober. I like that a lot. Just out of curiosity, how are they made 2.0 unpure CC? Alright, yeah. That is really, really well done. I think I would recommend changing that yellow orb to a pad in that transition. Just make it a little bit more fair, you know? But yeah, that is a solid medium. I think that was awesome. Thank you for requesting that. Fantastic 1.9 modern. Okay, we got 26 now. Next one is number 12. Skylux. Zircon Circles. Alright. Now they said about it, it's just for fun. Making my easiest 9 circle style level so people can beat their first 9 circle level, yet it wasn't rated. Turn on LEM mode to remove annoying deco. Well, here's the thing about rating. It's kind of a little random. You gotta get it set to seen by mod, pretty difficult. The mod's gotta send it at the right time, pretty difficult. Rodtop's gotta see it, it's pretty luck-based. Take a look. Yeah, I haven't really seen like a frozen 9 circle beginning there. I will say these blocks look a little plain. I would maybe on the insides make them a little bit like brighter, like maybe a little bit of a lighter blue. That could really help add some contrast. You definitely need a background here. This looks a little too empty. So I would add some kind of background. Those arrows are a nice touch. I would even recommend adding like a little bit more. Some air deco that's also doing the pulsing is pretty common with 9 circle stuff and will help fill in some of that emptier space. I think it'd be cool if you had like a thing on either side, like a front ground on the other side that kind of just pulses in left and right to kind of match in the energy of the music. Because shockingly enough, your 9 circles parts honestly showing a little bit less energy than I thought it would. Which is a rare thing to say. Yeah, I would love to see more of that like arrow stuff pop up in these latter parts too. Yeah, pretty dark. I would honestly recommend brightening it up a little bit. Some devices are going to have like a little bit of a darker screen. That's going to be a little hard to see it, you know? Yeah. Cool ideas. I did want to check how long you made it. 42 seconds. Okay. As I said earlier, a good rule of thumb is to make your levels at least 45 seconds in length. most of the mod team only sends stuff that's like 45 seconds or longer. And if it's shorter than that, it's got to be like insanely good. So I'd recommend extending that. Yeah, even maybe even to a minute would give you like the highest chances of a mod kind of seeing it and liking it, you know? But yeah, add in some background stuff. Maybe add a little bit more of those cool white lined effects inside the 9 circles part. And I think you got a solid level there. Why can't I... Okay. Do not send IDs in the chat. Send them in the form, please. I will delete your ID if it's in chat. Unfortunately. All right, number 17. Natron 11. Ahoy! All right, looks to be pretty safe. Let's see what they said. Satisfaction. Okay, I'm gonna real fast check this in the editor. I did not like that answer, so let me just hide GD for a second. Perfectly fine answer. I just need to be very cautious. It looks to be a layout. Okay. I will happily give you some layout feedback. All right. I think it's safe. All right. Well, let's give it a try. You know, I have to be cautious. There's been a lot of streamers getting canceled over unsafe levels being sent.
Fire the cannon!
This is real fun so far. Oh, there's my UFO spamming. Yeah, that's awesome. Really fun gameplay. You do want to be careful if you decide to decorate this. That's the kind of gameplay that can be easily covered up with deco. So you do want to be careful about that. But yeah, it's a really fun demon layout. I had a blast playing that. Nice work. Nicely done. All right, let's take a look at the next level here. 2. Hey, unsafe levels are a big deal because they crash the PC and get it stuck on your screen for a while, so. This is a lot of likes. All right. Deep dive. Let us take a look here. Holy crap. I'm gonna say I'm not a huge fan of like the slowdown filter with the robot. It's once again pretty hard to time jumps when you have that. But that's not a big problem. Yeah, that's a really floaty level. It's not a slowdown, it's gravity with the robot. It'd be really hard to tell what you need to do. I do think the camera controls actually work well in this level with that watery feeling to it. Right. Cool stuff. Honestly, my only complaint is I wish it was longer. This would have been a killer, like, XL. And with how long this title screen is, it kind of feels a little underwhelming. But that's not necessarily a big problem. Yeah. I could see that getting epic, though I think with its length, it could get featured, too. It felt a little bit short. Yeah. You got the layout from the recent tab. That makes a lot of sense. In that case, then I might recommend shortening the title screen or making it skippable. If you make the ending title skippable, that might save you some hassle of people complaining that the ending title's too long. So just a thought. But yeah, that's fantastic. Let me get that written down. To those who don't know, I send levels to gigs occasionally. So I will see. A lot of these will probably be sent to gigs, the ones that I enjoy. All right. I forgot to read this. Hosted the collab back in August 2035. Got abandoned, revived in November. Made first 2 parts. People seem to be interested. Collab finished in 3 weeks. Ocean water theme chill vibe. Yeah, you nailed that. Absolutely nailed that. Excellent work to you and all the collab participants. That was a very enjoyable project. All right, I got 24 out of 24. Let's take a look at number 24. Prince Ian. GD Logic. All right, there is no comments, so I'm going to real fast check to make sure this is a safe level. All right, and the description here is, it's cool, it has all the GD logic and some bugs. Looks safe to me. All right, take a look at it. This is level 24 of 24, so... Jump pod approximately super 1-3 blocks, that's true. And before... And that's beats per second, yep. Awesome. Spike hitbox, player hitbox, indeed. Very good. That allows you to do stuff like this. There's some really cool stuff. I actually used this technique inside... Oh yeah, King K, I wanted you to upload, you know, the level. You remember me telling you about that level I wanted uploaded today on the community account? Don't worry about it today. We could do it tomorrow. But yeah, King K. Yeah, everybody, I have a cool level that I wanted to share with y'all. So we'll take care of it tomorrow. Not a big deal. How'd you get the? Oh, you probably had it in classic and then switched to platformer. That makes sense. Yeah, that's a weird quirk. That's crazy. Wow. All right. Cool. Yeah, I didn't know some of that stuff, so that's awesome. That was really neat. Thank you for sharing. Oh, all right. I don't think I'll be able to get to all of these today because I am probably going to teach tomorrow. So, I will get through as much of this as I can. Oh, there's an Easter egg? Oh, dang it. Well, I'm not going to be able to see it right now, so. Dev mode random maze. Okay, the thing says, because I want to and I work hard on it. Now, let me check real fast to make sure there's nothing wrong with it. There's 0 comments. I just have to do this out of precaution, fortunately. I think it's alright. Alright, let's take a look. So this is dev mode random maze. Aha. So that was generating the maze for me, and then here we go. Oh boy. This is really neat. Get me in that hole. No, get me in the hole. We'll just go around. Just hoping to get in the hole there. Getting the idea that all mazes generated aren't always fun. Like, whoa, that's a tricky jump. Oh, I made it. Okay. But it's still really cool regardless. Oh, frick. Oh, that's so evil. How dare this random number generator make something that's hard? No! Good Lupin song. Oh, that's way too hard for me. Hey, that's cool. Neat stuff. That's crazy how you ever were to do that. I'd love to see that in a decorated state. That'd be awesome. Right, I pulled number 21 next. Locoger. Ball challenge. Okay. Have ball extreme demon. Let me double check, make sure this is safe. Give me a second. All right, looks safe. All right. Let's give this a ball challenge a try. Oh dear. Aha, you sneak. I found that dash orb. Cool challenge. I enjoyed that. Very cool. Wouldn't say it's an extreme demon, but it's still neat. Alright, number 5. Keith Sentinel level. Scully Hop Challenge. He uploaded this 52 minutes ago. Alright. Well, I do trust Keith, so... Excuse me. What is this? This is that wave challenge from Darnock. Jawbreaker wave. Okay. Decode wave. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Not gonna beat it right now, but thanks for sharing. Always appreciate a good challenge. Might beat that later. Alright, 21. We got 21 levels in queue. I pulled number 8. Shadowed124 has sent me a level. The Rainbow Salute. Eclipse Warning. I don't know if you spelled that right, Shadowed, but if you are photosensitive, do not watch right now. Oh, I forgot to read the description here. Rainbow level, first season level you made. All right, yeah. I can see that. This is awesome. I will say there usually has to be a little bit more going on. Rainbow effects are cool. Adding more motion and some other details in will make it a lot better. Sealing Productions, thank you for joining. Like this is a cool filter, but we could do some. We can have like these structures moving. Maybe they're rotating just slightly as they float around, and we can have like maybe a bit of a background that kind of pulses in. Like the black is fine, but after a while it gets a little monotonous, you know. That's pretty cool. I think right here a rainbow background could be nice. With some like black outlines around the blocks. That could look really cool. Cool transition. Ooh, those camera controls are a little strong. Yeah, overall, I'd add a little bit more to the layout level decoration-wise. Gameplay is pretty fun. Apart from a few camera controls, but yeah, that looks pretty cool. Pretty fun as well. Got a good baseline there. Nicely done. Alright. So I'll have 21 levels in. I got pulled 14. Logitech mouse. I think I used to use a Logitech mouse. Azure Trials. Alright, looks to be pretty safe. Let's take a look. Actually, let me read the description before I forget. Because I like making them and sharing my creativity or something, I don't know. Alright, that's fine. You love making wave challenges then. I used to make wave challenges back in the day, back when it's like people weren't as skilled with the wave. My wave challenges are a lot stupider than this, though. That's certainly a tricky gap. There we go. As you can see, I'm not very wave carried. Whoa, holy speed up, Batman. I don't fit through that? Really? You're too fat, Wave. There we go. I was gonna say, if there was no D blocks, I was gonna cry. Oh, that's an evil gap. Oh, I did it! Ain't no way I'm doing that one, though. Oh. No way. I'm actually goated. Oh, what are we doing here? That's evil, man. No! There we go. It's a cool challenge. A really cool challenge. Way out of my skill range. Pretty hard, but that's fun. Oh no, we're at 22 again. 16. Mind cap. This is the mind cap. Okay. Uh-huh. 53 minutes ago. What? Okay. No problem, Mindcap. That's so weird. I didn't know you were in chat. Hey, what's up? Made my day. Lovely. Top 10 craziest things that has happened to me this week. Alright, Stoke by Ballsy GD26. First attempt at making a rated level. Okay. Perfect, let's take a look Yeah, screenshot that, y'all. That's awesome. I really like the creative gameplay you're taking here. I think the stuff at the bottom of the screen actually works really well. The stuff at the top of the screen is a little hard to see right now, so I would maybe add like another color layer of what's going on at the top just to kind of help add some stuff. The other thing is your backgrounds, and that first part was a little bit bland. I'd maybe add a little bit more to that, but this next background looks really fire. There we go. I just need to get set up right. Oh, that's it? All right. So, what I would say right now, we have a strong baseline right now. At the moment, these blocks, I don't know if they're the best execution you could have done. They look a little bit messy. They don't quite match what I think we're going for. I would maybe experiment around more with some details to help like make it more detailed without being the exact same color. Because that's a pretty saturated pink you got there. So maybe try a little bit of some more muted pinks, some blending pinks that are like of a different shade to kind of help fill in some of that empty space in the block. Yeah. So you can want to fill in some of that empty black space. I would also recommend adding a different background here in the back. Because a lot of these ideas are excellent. It's just a matter of execution right now. Ooh, I always do that. Because these ideas are really, really cool. Really cool right now. I think if we did a little bit more better execution, we can really help make that keep that energy and make it pop. Another thing, again, we're at 35 seconds. I highly, highly recommend making it at least 45 seconds because that is, I think, kind of the minimum that moderators take. Anything less than that is very much a rarity. So make your level, extend your level a little bit, experiment around a little bit more with those block designs, and maybe add some like more movement. Really carry that energy that this song is giving you, you know? Yeah, great start though right now. You have a solid start. All right, 21. Arato is semi-level. Cleotaurus. Cleorotus. First Super 2 level, and it's about some unusual usage of spider objects. Ooh, I don't like the spider objects, but hopefully this will give me some appreciation. Give a field nostalgia. It has a good old kind of memory gameplay that makes sense and it's not unfair, while at the same time it takes the spider orbs and pads in the game mode itself to a very different approach to any level, only to prove what you can do with it. Fun to build and play. Well, I am excited for a moment to help open my mind. I'm not a huge fan of those features myself, but I would love to see what you did here. So an older style level. I like this part. This looks cool. We'll avoid that spider pad. I want to avoid that. Oh boy, that was right. Well, that spider part was brutal. Oh, I do need to get that Q portal. Okay. Oh, this part's so cool. That's awesome. That ending section is so cool. Yeah, the gameplay is pretty cool. What I will say is building old style and using some of the new features is a bit frowned upon by certain people. There's some creators who do it really, really well. Goldcraft is an instance, and I see someone mentioned him. Goldcraft does an amazing job of blending the modern with the old. This level, I'm a bit torn on it. I'm not sure if this would be something that, like, Gigs, for instance, would be interested in sending, you know? So, I don't know. I might put it as a question mark. Because I do really like what it does. I'm just not sure. You know? Because it is a really well-made old style, but with the modern effects, especially like the green portals and the spider pads, it kind of feels a little bit like it's in a limbo state. It's not really belonging to either side. So, I don't know. I think if you incorporated a little bit more of some modern features in with it, kind of made it like a hybrid, it could have worked really well there. But other than that, I pretty cool gameplay. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure there's some mods who would send it. I'm just a little torn on it, you know? But thanks for sharing nonetheless. It is a fun project. I enjoyed that. All right. I have time for maybe like 3 more, then I gotta head to bed, unfortunately. Level by skip stepping. All right. Well, I am gonna have to real fast check to make sure it's okay, because I can't risk this. All right, looks like we got a layout. Freeze. What is the next freeze? 7. It looks pretty okay to me. Should be okay. Give it a try. I call them levels, projects, and maps. It just depends what I'm feeling. It's like we got a layout. Spicy ball gameplay. Thank you for actually showing the orb that you need to hit to clear those boxes. That's appreciated. That's some really fun wave gameplay. I think I was supposed to go over that, but that's fine. Nope. That is fun. I enjoy that. That is a really fun layout. Thank you for sharing that. I don't really have any improvements for you to do. I really like that you were very clear about what orb you need to hit, and it's very soon after the orb. So, you know, so the person doesn't like go for 5 seconds and like, why did I die? So, very clever doing that. I got to see what you said. Just to have fun. Yeah. Excellent. That was very fun. So, thank you for sharing. All right. I'll do 2 more here. Roll number 10. Slurpy Goat. Slurpy Goat is Sentinel level. Undecided. All right. Let's take a look. So far, this is pretty vibey. I would like to have seen some kind of background, though. That slow open's really cool. Yeah, I don't know if these blocks work that well here. They kind of... The blocks and spikes here look a little bit... I don't want to be mean. They look a little amateurish, you know? Like, I feel like we could have done a little bit more with that to really make it kind of match this, like, darkness feeling we're thinking of. Yeah, also, we want to avoid... See how you can see those ground spikes? We should make those invisible if they're just meant for killing the player if they go out of bounds. Because right now it looks a little weird. Fun. Somebody's mad. Okay, that's awesome. I do think having those spikes move could have been cool. Although the ideas here are really nice. The camera panning is honestly pretty good. We killed it! Oh, that's a long end screen. Maybe shorten that a little bit. But yeah, really cool ideas. I think it's just adding some more detail, a little bit better execution. But you got some really cool ideas cooking there. I found those cube moments really funny. Going for first rate, yeah. So I'd recommend adding a little bit more decoration. Kind of fit things in with the song and your gameplay. And really hone in on making that, finding some block designs and erasing some of the, like, errors, you know? That would be what I would say is your next step there, Slurpy Goat. Yeah. One more request! And then I head to bed. Number 12. I already played a level by the whole bakery, so we're going to play a different level. Alright. I'm only doing one per person. Hold number 4. Alright, they said this is fun. It's a new game mode that you thought could be cool. So this is I Am So Cool 9's Orbit game mode. That is pretty cool. I think that would work really nice in a platformer. That could be a really cool gimmick in a platformer. For a main level, I think you'd be a little hard pressed to make gameplay around that. But in a plat, that'd be solid. All right, that was really short. We're gonna play another. All right, this will be the true last level if it's actually long. All right, 14. I am very suspicious about this level. Oh, let's take a look. Oh, seems like the comments are fine. Alright, because the way they fill out the form made it look like a bot. Yes, see, nay, sis is what they said inside. Why did you make this level? So, doesn't tell me a whole lot. But, compilation of all your levels. It's only got 84, so I assume it's probably fine. All decoration. Ooh, yeah. Make Spike touch the orb. Okay. Now, this is interesting. Nice place, too. Ooh, lots of the same song. Yeah, that's cool backgrounds. A moving background there could be really cool. Like having it move. But I also understand it's a level mix. Pretty fun. I always thought it'd be fun to do a level mix type thing. Well, I'd probably want to improve it because I have such a wide range of quality. Ooh, very Clutterfunk inspired here. I like the use of player color. I do think it could have been a little bit ironed out better, but... Because these are just kind of like a bunch of free-floating structures, you know? Having more rooted structures could be really cool. Oh dear. There we go. Hey, I like these colors. I'm a little concerned. Because this looks pretty spammy. Real fast. I'm gonna check this in the editor. Actually, I'm a little too paranoid from what happened the first time. We're gonna look real fast in here. There we go. It looks to be all fine. Okay, maybe I was just freaking out for no reason. Where did I leave off? Ah, it was over here. Yeah, that'll be a good starting point, actually. There's actually a speed change there. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's see if that... This should be okay. Oh, that was cool. Ugh, that's a duel I'm not gonna be able to learn. There we go. This part looks really cool. I think that's neat. Yeah. Very heavy use of player color. I think our execution definitely could be better. There's a lot of just like empty space and blocks that really are just like nothing special, you know? I'll definitely work on our backgrounds and some of our air deco. And then some of our blocks as well. Well, yeah. That was fun. Thank you for showing me that. Apologies, I had to go into the editor, but I just can't risk having an inappropriate thing appear on stream, you know. But excellent. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Unfortunately, that is all I can do tonight because I have to go to sleep. I've probably got a big day tomorrow. Not sure yet. I have to see what jobs are available, but all right, we're going to save our data. Actually, I never loaded my data. Ah, dang it. It should be fine. I haven't made any progress on GTJ recently, so we'll just save. All right. Have a good rest of your night, everybody. I will see y'all a little bit later. I am releasing a very cool level with on the 1.0 community account tomorrow, hopefully. Something that I think will blow some of your minds. All right. But until then, have a